always loved this key change when we cut to the crew, and the ship scenes on the Flying Dutchman always make me think of that Rick McCallum clip, So Dids. Every single image has so many things going on. There's just so much in there, so many stuffs. It's Wheel Guy. No, the bosun, he probably did that on purpose. Maybe me and my cutie will share the punishment. I'll take it all. Self-sacrifice. Well, attempted self-sacrifice. And what would prompt such an act of charity? That's why some. I like the Bootstrap doesn't try to lie or hide it, because Lordy knows that wouldn't go very well for him. Love how Jones uses that tentacle like it's an extra long finger. It's rough, but Lambeau is finally getting his revenge on Will for showing him up that one time. Honestly impressive the way they were able to highlight that tear falling when they're all completely soaked and dripping from rain. I mean, really. Whatever emotion he's experiencing watching Will get whipped by his pops makes him not a good dude. Incredible design. I hate it, but it's so good. It explains why the crew doesn't go full annihilation with their transformations if their brains are staying mostly intact, and also no thank you. I'm here to find the man I love. I'm deeply flattered, but my first and only love is the sea. This was... hide the rum. Priorities. You know, these clothes do not flatter you at all. It should be a dress, well, nothing. I happen to have no dress in my cabinet. Jack, another tight turn of phrase. Poor Will has been press-ganged to Davy Jones's crew. Press-ganged, otherwise known as impressment, which is just conscription but usually into a naval force. Sparrow knows his vocab. I can't help it if your standards are lax. You smell funny. Got him. There is a chest. Oh, dear. What contains a still beating on it, Davy Jones? Yeah. That's some top-notch miming we're getting. This compass does not point north. I love this whole sequence with Norrington puking for the third time in a row, but always getting a few barbs in. Roll. Oh, please. Classic pirate gift. Don't care for the Bluefish guy's face spikes moving. Don't care for it one bit, not one Brad Point bit. I'm gonna need you guys to stop that. You don't eat your crewmates' body parts, even if you happen to be conjoined twins. Even crustaceans cower at the clamor concerning his crab-pegged like, oh, they're mollusks, yeah, you try finding a synonym for coward that starts with M. Feels wrong for me to point all this stuff out because it makes the top of my skull tingle, but this guy's stomach is sewn together since Will slashed it open. This guy has some kind of note living in his stomach, and this guy's eyes are, though, not eyes, and also he looks like a prawn from District 9. Also, most of these guys are fully transformed, but since Bootstrap is still progressing, we can see more barnacles appearing on his face, plus the starfish next to his eyes continuing to gain color and more prominence. Originally, it just looked like a tumor. Really, it's not an extra long finger, it's an entire third hand. Welcome to that crew line. 12-5. Even if we don't really understand Liar's Dice, their reactions let us know that Bootstrap's bet was throwing the game, which is of course even more self-sacrifice. Master China, feel free to go ashore. The better next time we make pulp. His little snort became. Just wanted to know where it was. Duplicity. Captain says I'm to relieve you. So, at a certain point you lose the ability to speak? Honestly, once my teeth are clams, I hope to be dead. There's a lot in these movies I don't think I could endure, but fiddling with a dude's space tentacles is pretty close to the top of the list. Leaving the drawing there is such insult to injury. Will wanted to make sure DJ knew who stole it. Take this too. Well, get yourself to lambs, stay there. Knives do genuinely make great gifts. I could say I did what I had to. When I left you to go partying. But it would taste a lie to say it wasn't what I wanted. Honesty. Will was working for Mecca, never said a word. His groans. I honestly don't care for this subplot. The Ghost Pirate Adventure comedy family films based on the Disney World rides of my youth set a pretty hard bar. Kraken. Bill Nye's voice in general is very fun to listen to, but he hits the crack end perfectly with that accent. It's interesting that they see tentacles and don't assume squid or octopus, but then this was the ship that took heading instructions from a floating dress. Just funny Norrington scoffed at even the existence of the Flying Dutchman. Oh, please. The captain of the Flying Dutch. Also, this is a sailing movie trope that I'd love to see tested. Maybe Mythbusters can do a bit on it. Canceled in 2016. Well, what's that? Oh, so it's back. What? Again in 2018? Well, as long as Jamie and Adam still have a flourishing friendship, I'll be okay. What? So they did this. They destroyed the ship. And the organ piece for the destruction of the Edinburgh trader is an amazing addition. Like Davy Jones went below deck while this was happening to add some ambiance for his crew watching the carnage. Appropriate face. Nope. I mean, honestly, they could have made it way more megalohydrophalasophobia inducing, but still, nope. Ha! Found Macus the Hammerhead's eye. Being cursed on the Flying Dutchman would actually be my own personal hell. Like just watching the movie with my Cinema Winds brain turned on is giving me trypophobia. I think I'm breaking my adrenal glands. My scalp hurts from all the constant hair follicle contraction. Actually being there, I would have hurled myself into the Grecken's Maw by now. There are no survivors. I guess considering the options are death or an eternity of servitude while you slowly become sentient wallpaper, being killed is kind of the merciful choice. You're going to want to know what it tastes like. What thanks? These two are less than coy. Idumir will taught me how to handle a sword. Cropland's there, it's pronounced in the original Scandinavian. He's correct. It's a mythological creature and can't get what I want. Wait till he hears how they pronounce Wyvern's name. Did he end up like cool with it? That one is for my American fans. If you're British, the win is actually, well, at least they pronounce Wyvern's name correctly. It doesn't look. And it certainly doesn't show you what you want most. Yes, it does. You're sitting on it. Ha! Butts down then. Sometimes scenes are so cool I can just say yep, other times I can't figure out what to say, and then I'll notice the DJ holds his freaking hat on with his tentacles as they go under. Even the lock looks like the music box locket thing Calypso and DJ both have. Got the chest. Now, Kira gets sidelined for a hot minute here, a thing they actually subvert in these two sequels, but they draw so much attention to it that it actually ends up being pretty entertaining. Ace wants the chest for himself, don't it? I think he's trying to settle some unresolved business twixt him and his twice cursed pirate father. Always nice to have a second rundown for those viewers who are second screening, although you do miss some of the fantastic performance if you're only listening, even if the words alone are S tier. That's how I fuse S tier, right, Mr. Tirzu? Homerzo. Yeah. I guess so. Yes, thank you. Plus, Batch told me these are barnacles, which are crustaceans, Sue. I was right. Right, Mr. Tirzu. Sure. Nice. Even now, Jack is clearly not even trying to injure Will. They're still all very, extremely very disgusting. But in the pristine aqua waters of the Caribbean, I still don't like it. And again, another immensely fun action-adventure sequence. Hard to think of anyone who's done it better this millennium. Brings me right back to reading Hatchet and Treasure Island as a kid. Fun fact, Jack Sparrow does all his own stunts. Flips aside, Jack's real talent is and always will be manipulation. Do excuse me when I kill the man who ruined my life. Whose fault is it, really? Who was it? Saw fit to free said Paris, and take your dearly beloved over to himself. He's right. Still rooting for you, mate. If I didn't know better, I'd say this movie was broadcasting its ending the entire time. It really is the absolute absurdity of this off-the-wall set piece that makes me like it so much. It's just so silly while still being entertaining, engaging, and even tense at times. So that bar that knocked him out is gone because he must have broken it with his skull. Okay, now that's dope. Also, good on them for realizing that more than a few seconds at a time would make the entire audience bark. Sure. So, what? Another three-way fight, but this time teamwork. Not wheel guy. Second time Jack has used a coconut as a weapon, but with much better results this time. Even his heart has barnacles on it. Double stab. See, she was barely sidelined for one fight. This cutback to them is great. They've been spinning for like 10 minutes. There's always so much story going on, even during the action scenes. Will sees the key in the chest, knows the heart is gone. Jack sees that Will has seen that, so he knocks him out, and this is all after Norrington has already stolen the heart, unbeknownst to either of them. Not a word of dialogue spoken in this story has progressed quite a bit. We're not getting out of this. Both with the chest. Who am I? Don't wait for me. Norrington's arc is fun, and although he knows the heart isn't in there, and Jack knows the heart isn't in there, he is still technically doing something heroic, even if his ultimate motives are self-serving. What? No, man. No. Where's the Commodore? Now behind. Love the explicit appeal to the pirate code that Gibbs taught us in Black Pearl. And there's the code to consider. Any man who falls behind is left behind. Like prayers be with you. Best not wallow in our grief or optimism. I believe the sails on the Flying Dutchman are meant to be seaweed, but whatever they are, they're veiny and seem alive. Alright, fish fights. And after I've given you so much credit for your words as usages, Davy is a mollusk face. Undisturber. Equanimity. Now Wheel Guy's getting whipped. Why fight when you can negotiate? Oh, one lead. Take proper leverage. Jack's favorite line. Let's just say it's a matter of leverage. Aye. Which he actually stole from Will. With the right leverage and the proper application of strength, the door will lift free. But then Will stole it back anyway. Sorry, Jack. I'm not gonna be your leverage. Hot. I mean gross. We are sharp, stocked on gunpowder. 6 follow. Awfully invested in the explosives for a guy who doesn't give a butt rat's about living or dying. There's only half a dozen kegs of powder. Then load the rub. Fair. I'd react the same way if he said load the Aperol spritzes. Second time we get this flyover shot revealing something. Hey, at least it learned. The sound design of the tentacles slipping against the porthole is next level disgusting. Disney movies never cease to amaze with how much disturbing stuff they can sneak in. This moment really encompasses all that is Jack Sparrow, even if it only works when a magical MacGuffin exists to tell you what you truly want beyond what you might think. The simple fact that he thought to check with the compass shows that deep down he is a good man, hard as he might try to disagree. Yup to that, Jack. I think Gibb shot him. CGI still holds up, and it's truly amazing. It's that simple. Gareth to the rescue. Awesome bullet time. Well, not like the Matrix bullet time, but still awesome. To be fair, there probably aren't many people this wouldn't work on. Love the darker turn the score takes here. Bars. Compliments? He did it's right behind me, isn't it? Look, since there's no one there to say it to. So gross, and yet I'd watch this scene 5 million times over anything involving the crew of the Flying Dutchman. Had I made this video too much about my own personal phobias? Look, I didn't even know I had them before I made this video. Bravery? I'd get it more if it was just a mouth with one set of teeth that he could leap past, but there's no way he's not getting munched here. And since I've decided this is the last of the series I'll cover, I guess I'll never know. And he got his hat back. Also love a little hint that Jack has probably dealt with the Kraken before, greeting it like an old friend. And I'm beastie. Obviously, the Black Pearl needs to go down whole if we're to ever see it again. But just to belabor the point, the Turkish fishing boat was likely under 50 feet long. The Edinburgh Trader and the Black Pearl are both 170-foot ships. So it's either smash it to bits or pull it down whole. You, Jack Sparrow. Well, that seawater comes up with his disgust. Well put. Although technically I think he's already banned. Also, this physical reaction upon realizing his heart isn't in there. The way his tentacles start writhing and wigging out. See, you should know you have to keep oceanic ferryman gods' hearts in salt water so you don't get flies. In part 1 I said there's probably lots of bugs, and that's to say nothing of whatever is lurking in those waters. You fooled us all right till the end. But I guess that honest streak finally won out. I think it might actually have. He did come back, but generally he liked to keep running, so it's hard to say. Discuss in the comments. Fun misunderstanding where she's feeling guilty about murdering him and Will sees it as sorrow over losing her true love. Will be a sail to the end that it earned, and beyond to fetch back wicked Jack. They couldn't make it 4 minutes letting us think Jack was dead. It was a different time. But Will too. Jack condemned him to an eternity on the Flying Dutchman. Will got out of that earlier today. I'm starting to think he might have enjoyed seeing Lizzie smooch and Captain Jack Sparrow. No shade, bro. You do you. That if you went brave to weird and haunted shores, then you need a captain. I legit repeated this scene 5 times because other than Cotton, all of them have a genuine jolted expression at seeing Barbossa. And while I do want to believe the rumor that the actors didn't know, it seems like Pintle himself put it to bed. Hey, maybe only he knew. Gross. I mean, I'm glad he finally got his apple, but gross. Eat a whole bushel of apple. boots. And also I lied in part 1, because when I saw this in theaters, I had no clue that Barbossa was coming back. Years later, I noticed his boots, but I'm still taking credit. Well, this seems pretty problematic, not in like a cultural, social way, in a logistical way. Dogs can't speak Shoko, the language of the Pelagosis that they made for the movie, which is a mix of Big Latin and words spelled backwards, although abolish monarchies. Puparchies. So it's both kinds of problematic. The only thing I don't feel I praised enough is the score, which, yeah, it's almost redundant to praise Hans Zimmer, but he nails everything from the silly because the threat of cannibalism is just that lighthearted to the dire and moving pipe organ music that works both as an auditory showcase of Jones's internal struggles and an epic toccata of destruction. From the sea shanty bar fight adventure coded 2 hornpipes to the slow building and tragic, even depressing decisions these characters have to make of Hello Beastie, which ends in an operatic crescendo. It's all great. And it wouldn't be a part 2 without taking a few comments. So, yeah, this isn't a severed tentacle. I'm clearly not up to date on my octopus facts, my bad. It's a siphon that they exhale through. And I love this detail of the faces on each locket reflecting the owner's emotional state. And then the rest of the comments seem to be this. Last time I did a movie for someone who incessantly requested it, YouTube's comment search function wasn't totally broken, but alas, it is now. So, People Person, I hope you're happy. Sorry, that came out like a threat. I hope you're happy. Nope, that's still not quite right. I hope you're happy. Oops, good enough. Anyway, I have more thoughts, but this is truly only a part 1 of these 2 movies, making this part 2 of part 1. But at World's End really is the fulfillment of this movie, so I'll have more to say when I do it. Obviously, I was kidding about not doing it at World's End. It will be 100% this year, just not totally sure when. So until then, savvy?